Hey everyone, and welcome to the Big Bad FigCast. My name's Brett, also known as Geek Over 40, and if you're here, it means you have an interest in the custom minifigure scene. This being the inaugural episode, I just want to take a minute to thank you for all for tuning in. It's been hard keeping this a secret for the past few months, but I really feel the hard work has paid off. Today's topic is just to inform you of what this podcast is about, introduce my co-host, what topics you may expect in future episodes, and lastly, how you, the listener, can get involved. If you know me, you know that community is a really big focus of mine. And so this podcast has me really excited about what the future may bring.
Bring me the next shiny new thing. Bring me the next shiny new thing. Bring me the next shiny new thing. Bring me the next shiny new thing.
Okay, so welcome. This is the Big Bad FigCast, the inaugural episode. I'm your host, Brett, aka Geek Over 40. And with me today, I've got Marcus, aka Mark's Bricks. Say hey, Marcus.
Hello, guys.
And I have Nick, aka Brick Cinema, on Instagram as well. Nick.
Hey.
Hey.
Let me re-record that. Hey, everyone.
Oh, no. It's in there. It's locked in. Okay, so we're pulling some MCU time stream shenanigans here because you're listening to something that's happened in the past, but we're acting like it's in the future. Today is March 4th, and if things go right, you're hearing this on March 19th. The first episode today, we are going to figure out, basically, I want everyone to know what the plan is. What are we going to do? What this is about, what the roadmap is, what our goals are, how you, the listeners, can get involved and help shaping content. It's all very important to me. If you've known me from Instagram, you know community is very big with me. And I want to I just want to expand what I was calling the Geek Over 40 universe or community universe, the GCU. I'll trademark that later. So yeah. So have a little patience. This is the first time we're doing this. It'll get more polished as we go. You know, Marcus is joining us all the way from Taiwan. You know, Nick is in the middle of the country and I'm on the East Coast. Thankfully, we have good technology to help us get together. So that being said, how are you guys doing today?
I'm gonna start. I'm doing great. Just I think some of you might have seen my Instagram story. I was organizing my stash because there's too much things that I wanna rule them out. I want to sell them, so was kind of busy with this all afternoon. But then I'm good. I'm excited to do this. Very happy for Brett hosting this podcast, and look forward to everything that this podcast will bring to the community.
So Marcus, how long have you been collecting?
I guess around 4 years. Yeah, about 4 years. I think I started a little bit earlier than you, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, a little bit.
And then I started because I think a lot of collectors are originated from Asia. So I think I was probably the first batch of collectors that started collecting.
Okay.
And
And for those who come to me saying, Brett, you know this, you know that, how do you know all of this? Marcus was basically my mentor. He is the one who got me connected to nearly everybody that I'm connected to. So he's kind of like the Jack Kirby to my Stanley. I'm the guy out there being loud and boisterous and going out. Marcus is the guy in the shadows doing all the real hard work. Truly a well-versed person, and he'll be joining me for many episodes, especially when we talk more about the art of collecting and networking community as well. Nick, so how long have you been collecting?
So if Marcus got you into collecting or was one of your mentors, you were mine. Unfortunately, you got me sucked in so hard. I think it was 2 years ago, probably a little bit more. But I started out I started out with knockoffs, and then I could not believe I was going to spend that much for a custom figure. But I think it was maybe just a little bit over 2 years ago that I started.
Yeah, and you started with Spidey's too, didn't you?
Oh man, I tried to keep up with you for a while.
I mean,
It's all part of the
sorry.
journey.
Tell you what, I'm
No.
sorry.
can anyone keep up with Brett? I mean, Jesus, dude.
Y'all act like I've got this big collection when you got Jonathan or JN36 and Ed, a good fellow of minifigs. I mean, they've been doing this for a long time, and Sunsol Chicken Bricks, he's got a humongous collection. These are the guys I go to when I want to reference something. Like, who made Black Widow? I go to their their Instagrams.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, here's all 70 of them. So
yeah, they're like
I just got Spidey down. I got Spidey down, but everything else.
How many are you up to?
Oh geez. Well, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, over 600. Over 600. I'm working on a base plate because I have to wait to get more cases in. I have to wait to order more cases. I'm waiting on my tax returns. I already cleared that with the wife.
The cases are a hard purchase too, aren't they?
They are.
Oh,
They
yeah,
are.
they are.
I am a Wicked Brick affiliate. So
Yeah.
if anybody wants to buy cases,
Really nice.
there'll be a link in the show notes. You can send me some cash to your purchase. Unfortunately, I am petitioning for them to start doing discount codes, but they are just not budging.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
think it's ridiculous.
really nice cases.
They are, but they are pricey, and shipping can be a while. As an affiliate, I get a little bit of a bump in the production line, and I get good shipping rates. But I think they would do them wonders if they gave out codes, kind of like the way Firestar does. Just
Yeah, definitely.
help people out, especially because they're saving money now. They switched from official Lego studs to knockoff studs, which fit the fig a little bit looser, which I know is a concern. I know Harrison on Instagram had mentioned that was a concern of his. These knockoff studs are probably cheaper, so they're probably saving money. Anyways, I don't want to fork too much. I just want to get familiar with who we are. These aren't the only people that will be on this podcast. I do have additional co-hosts coming on. We have Phil Fat Cat Bricks, also from Instagram. We have Carrie or Kirby and her bricks, CB enthusiast. She'll be joining us quite often. And then we have Zach or minifigure Folks, who will be joining us.
Hey.
That's all 5. I've created a rotating cadre of co-hosts based on the subjects we're going to talk about. I want to make sure that you guys are taking time out of your day or your drive to listen to us, and I want to make sure it's worth your while. That being said, what is the BBFC? What is the Big Bad FigCast? Well, this was something that I'm going to give Jamel's Bricks off Instagram full credit for.
Yeah.
I was doing an unboxing video back in November 2022. I made a offhanded comment about, man, we should have a podcast. Someone should do a podcast. I'm doing the Geek Exchange. Someone do a podcast.
I remembered.
And Jamel hit me up on DM. He's like, you should really do that. And if you don't, I haven't talked to Jamel of Jamel's Bricks on Instagram. If you haven't talked to him, the guy is infectiously optimistic. He's such a positive dude. And we're both veterans, so we connected that way. But honestly, he's a guy to have in your corner. And through him, I just said, screw it. I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to do this podcast. So I've been researching this since November 2022. Mm-hmm. I started real hardcore work on it back in January. And then February was the real busy month. That's where the logo got finalized. The name got finalized. The software was picked. The goal was to make this as seamless and easy as possible. So that's pretty much how this all came to be. And I plan on this lasting a long time. We'll go into that in a moment. Knowing what this is, honestly, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of the Big Bad FigCast as a name? Hopefully you've seen the logo by now. I'm pretty proud of it. I had fun making it.
The logo's awesome.
Yeah. And I got stickers made. They came in yesterday.
They look so good.
I'll have those available for people. I got to figure out the distro model for that. So the Big Bad FigCast was called almost 30 different names, but they kept finding they were all taken. Some of the names were the Figure Dome, the Sanctum Figtorum. I wanted to do Geek to Geek, but I found out that's actually a dating app.
Jesus.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know, right? So I was like, I wanted to click on it because I was curious, but I didn't want to click on it because I'm like, there's been a what was it? Plastic Heroes, Fantastic Plastic. Oh, there were so many different. There
All
was, it was
taken?
all taken.
All taken by dating apps?
No. Fantastic Plastic. I don't want to go down that road. It was irritating.
Oh my
I don't want to know
god.
what they're selling.
Sorry.
Sounded like rated R stuff.
What are the rules there? Have you thought about that?
We're all adults. But I
PG
know
16?
PG. I'll do PG 13. PG 13. You're allowed one F bomb before it goes R.
Perfect.
So
Just
so
one?
Fuck.
You're
There, it's
allowed
done.
one?
It's done. We just maxed it. No more.
Okay.
We're gonna try our best, and it shouldn't be a problem because we are gonna try and keep this positive. I want this to be a safe, neutral space. You're not gonna hear fig bashing. We're not gonna be trashing people's creations or their brands. I have no problem calling out BS when I see it, but there are mature ways to talk about it, and that's what we hope to do here with this podcast. We just don't want to jump on a hate train because that doesn't help anybody. And there's a trend, I call it angertainment, lately in the news cycle, and it's really tiresome. So I want this to
Yeah.
be a fun place to go,
Yeah.
where you guys
there's
can learn
enough of
more
that.
about behind the scenes of the industry. Talk to some, I'll be talking to some industry professionals. Actually, might as well reveal it because it's already planned. Episode 3 will be my interview with Phoenix Customs. Adam's already on board. He's very excited about this. I hope to reach out to other figure brand creators as well, and other digital creators, photographers, digital artists. We want to do all types of stuff like that. But before we get into that, sorry. Big Bad FigCast is about the custom minifigure community. We all know that if you're here, this is a very niche community, not very large. When minifigures are in production quantities of not usually greater than 150 to 200. Marcus, what do you think? Maybe like 5,000 people worldwide are into this.
I think there's more.
Well, not
but-
including anime, because that's going to be a really big genre on its own. We'll just say
superhero in general.
Yeah,
I think 5,000 is a good number.
yeah.
Considering the likes on the posts from the big brands.
That's true.
I think there's around 5,000 people that collects custom figures.
Yeah, this is not a scientific quantity. We're just, guesstimating. It's really not that hard to find things you're looking for mostly. We are going to be focusing on the hero customs because that is what we love and the brands that produce them. That it also includes Citizen Brick and Mini Bigs and TrueRid because they are making their own custom figs. We aren't going to probably talk anime much, to be honest with you, because that's just not my strong point. I enjoy watching it. I don't follow a lot of it. I don't follow the figs being produced. But perhaps if you have a suggestion, I have somebody I'd like to bring on board to talk about it, but that could be a future episode. Part of this is also, you'll find in this podcast, I'm going to try not to talk about things I don't understand. If I don't, it's because I'm bringing somebody on who is a subject matter expert, and they're going to educate me. What
Love
this is
that.
not going to be, this isn't about Lego. I don't collect Lego. I don't care about CMFs. I don't care about Harry Potter. I'm sorry. I mean, I think there's a fandom for it, but I also think there's plenty of places to go to learn more, people to talking about that. People that are much more versed and educated in Harry Potter, in CMFs. I'll go over my experiences with sets that pertain to my liking, like, Avengers Tower that's rumored to be coming out, or the Daily Bugle, New Sanctum Sanctorum. I know this is going to come up. We're not going to focus on Star Wars.
Oh, I think for us, this podcast is more so about educating people on the custom side of things, because in my experience, if you're new to the community, there's a lot of things you have to go through in order for you to be getting the things you want, and
Yes.
not get scammed or spend too much money on just one single fig.
Yes.
So I think what we're trying to do is to, I wouldn't say educate, just showing you the roadmap that we all walk through before, and then to help you understand more about the collectors, the brands, and everything about customs.
Yeah, we're going to peel back the curtain, so to speak.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't mean we're going to tell you all our secrets because, that's just there is a lot of stuff behind the scenes that seasoned collectors or I don't like the term VIP. The people that spend a lot of money, they get, let's be honest, people that spend money get access. Knowledge that is learned through experience, both positive and negative. And we want to make sure that you guys maybe can avoid some of these, pitfalls, or you can maybe even, heck, you guys might have a couple tips for us. And I mean, I've been doing this for like, what, 4 years now, almost going on 5. And I still have stuff to learn, right? I run to Marcus and I ask him. So
Stop bothering me up, okay? Stop.
Well, I'm gonna say one thing. So to get Marcus on here, he was very concerned about his English. I gotta say, dude, you're doing just fine.
Thanks.
You're very easy to understand.
Thank you.
I knew you would be, but I know we've talked plenty of times in the past over the phone, but I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have other folks on here from all, we got folks coming from the UK, hopefully from France, but from Singapore, Kirby's from Canada. So we're gonna have people from all over the world on this because this is a global hobby,
My favorite things about it too.
right?
Knowing everyone's time zones and all that kind of stuff. It's so cool, man. Being connected to people
it's
all
10
over the
a.m. for
world.
us, and it's what, 10
Mhm.
p.m. for you, Marcus?
Yeah, for me, 10, 11 now.
Oh, geez. Well, we're trying to keep you up. Nick, is there anything you want to say, or so far are you good? I just don't want to be talking all this time. I know it's my podcast, but your co-host.
You're killing it, man.
All right. So I already mentioned that we have 3 other co-hosts that are not currently present. The reason being is I don't want to have more than 3 people in a show at a given time. There'll be too many people trying to talk over each other. And even for this here, we're still feeling each other out about when's it a good time to interrupt each other and pause. Because when you're not in the room with somebody or not even in the same time zone and you can see their face, having these naturally flowing conversations can be difficult. So while I fully lean into the fact that this might be a rough episode, but it will get better over time as we get more familiar with each other's talking style, what their mannerisms are.
I think so far it's going pretty good. No. I mean it.
Because
Don't
we
you think?
got our
Nick?
one F-bomb out of the way, so we're all relaxed now. We got out of our system. What are you gonna find on this podcast? I kid you not, folks. I have already planned out 44 episodes of this podcast. I've got about 2 years worth of content. These guys have seen it. All the co-hosts have seen it. I've got the episode order broken down. I've got the co-hosts for each episode figured out. I've got the subject matter expert I want to bring in that day figured out. Now, granted, they haven't all agreed to it because they also don't know about this yet. The only people that know they're coming on is Adam from Phoenix Customs and Jamel's Bricks. There's quite a few people from across Instagram and across the industry and across this hobby that you guys will recognize. The types of episodes we're going to do, I think first and foremost, we are going to talk about the art of collecting. What Marcus was alluding to earlier, we want to talk about the trials and tribulations that we've gone through, the shortcuts we found, the resources we found to find what we're looking for. The second episode next time we do this is going to be about FOMO, or fear of missing out, how to set your rules for yourself, and how to avoid burnout. Not the most fun thing to talk about. And I'm actually making this a part 1 of 2-part series. If we cover everything well in part 1, we'll just leave it be. For episode 2, Marcus will be back, and Phil from Phil Fat Cat Bricks on Instagram, another longtime collector from the Flickr days, will be on board to send us some of his wisdom about how he went through this. I've gone through burnout. Let me tell you, when Far From Home came out and everybody and their mom was releasing the Spidey trio, and I'm trying to catch up because I have to look at myself and say, do I want to collect all these Spideys, or do I feel obligated to because everyone sees me as the Spidey guy? And that was a real conversation I had in my head. And also, how am I going to afford all this shit? With all the other figs coming out that I want. So this is a real topic that we're going to get into next episode. Episode 3 will be the interview with Adam at Phoenix Customs, which brings me to my next subject: interview episodes. There's going to be 2 varieties. I want to interview industry leaders. I would love to interview other brand creators. I think I've built up a relationship enough with enough of them. They'll be willing to do it. But I want to get a few episodes out so they understand the format. They understand this is not a place where they're going to get dragged over the coals about why haven't you made this yet? Or, some silly superficial questions about, tell us your favorite fig. I want to have real, I'm not going to say investigative journalism, but I want to have a real honest conversation with them. And I don't want to cover interviews that I've done before. In addition to that, I want to have interviews. I'm calling this the Master Series. Basically, I want to talk to those in the community that have mastered a certain craft related to it. That includes toy photographers, decal designers, the handmade guys and gals that they craft their figs using different various materials, and they look incredible. And then also talking about digital artists like myself. We live and breathe Photoshop, or there might be some that can't afford Photoshop. What do they do? How do they do it? Some people shoot with their phone. Some people shoot with a high-end DSLR. How do they do it? I'm fortunate enough. I've got on the podcast right now. We've got Nick here, who is a professional videographer. Was that the accurate way of describing your craft, or would you prefer something else?
Yeah, video guy.
And you've seen his videos for Citizen Brick. He's killing it. He'll be working on our promo video for this podcast. That
Oh yeah,
will
I'm psyched about that.
hopefully will be out before this episode is. But
Definitely going to be ready.
okay,
Don't worry about it.
I appreciate it. So we've got a lot of people that are really good at what they do. Oh, fig barfers. Oh my gosh. If those not familiar with fig barfing, it basically is a term related to you just taking a bunch of parts and you just kind of, what is barf? It's just a bunch of random stuff mixed together, right? Not the most pleasant metaphor, but that's what it's called, fig barfing. So you taste, basically you're making figs out of random parts. Really big in the Citizen Brick community. I want to have an episode all about fig barfing. What's their methodology? How do they decide what goes? Is it just a crapshoot, or do they have a vision? So I want to have a lot of fun with that. We are still going to have some basically general roundtable discussions. Like this is a great example of just a general chat category episode where we're just kind of informing the audience. We're kind of just shooting the shit and just giving you a feel of what's going on. Some of those episodes will include discussions about the world of Citizen Brick and Bigs, discussion about the bootleg industry, discussions about brand accountability, which I know can light some fires under some people when we talk about brand accountability. What do brands owe us, and what do we owe brands? Because it does go both ways. We will talk about the secondhand market industry. We will talk about auctions and whatnot and eBay and dealing with those. We are going to talk about the Geek Exchange, because I know we get a lot of questions about the Geek Exchange. We're going to talk about the pre-order, which Marcus has a lot of thoughts on.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
Should I take you off the docket, Marcus?
Well, here's what I'll say. I won't be negative about it, because I think from my view, I've been collecting for 4 years now. I pretty much gone through everything about pre-orders. So I'm not going to be negative about it, but I'm going to give all of you guys, I'm not going to say the right way to think about it, but my perspective on how I view pre-orders in a healthier manner.
And I think you have a great viewpoint, which is why I'm bringing you on that episode, because again, you're a seasoned collector, but you've also had a lot of intimate relationships with brand owners and producers and resellers. So you've heard their side of the story firsthand, and I think that's going to really shed some light on why things are the way they are, and why things could be better. I'm not saying it's perfect, but yeah, nothing that we're talking about on this podcast is going to be the right way. It's just going to be the way that we've experienced it, and that we're hoping that helps folks out. The last category that we'll be going into is Ask the FigCast, and that's when if you follow me on Instagram or follow Big Bad FigCast on Instagram, that's where I'll be setting up prompts for you guys to ask your questions that you'd like us to answer on the air, or hear your opinions on a subject of the previous episode or things that we've already talked about. I'd also like to hear, we'll have some focused discussions where the whole episode's involving just your comments. So we'll have a general, Q&A. I'm looking forward to the episode I've nicknamed "What Chaps Your Plastic." That's just going to be our rant episode where you guys can all talk about the things that irritate you about the industry, and we'll talk about those. We'll ask. I want to know, what are your Grail figs? What are your wish lists? What figures do you wish people would make? I know I've got mine. I know the boys here have theirs. So we'll have focused discussions on those based on just your feedback as well. So that covers the breadth of all the types of episodes we're going to do. Like I said, I've been planning this for a while, but I'd also know how to be flexible. So how do you participate? Primarily, it's going to be through Instagram, Big Bad FigCast. You can comment on the YouTube channel as well. I'll be monitoring that. It'll just be pure audio of this, of this episode. So, a few weeks ago, I told you guys in my Instagram story that I was sick of my podcast provider and I wanted to find a new one. Yeah, that was a lie. Uh, I just want to know what you guys were using, so I knew where to put this podcast. So it worked. Yeah, means to an end. But no, I use Google Podcasts primarily, but I know Google just announced they're going to roll podcasting into YouTube Music, so that might help some folks out. This is not a community if it's just a one-way conversation. So this podcast will hopefully foster more back and forth between you guys and us, and then you guys with each other. I hope you guys tag up and meet each other in the comments and and enjoy this. I'm not going to be like, share, smack, ring that bell or smash that like button. I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm not in this for ad revenue. There will be no ads. I'm not in this for money. If I was in this business for money, I'd be charging you guys $5 a pop just to post on the Geek Exchange. I could make $500 in a day. But no. Yeah, but do you know why I won't do this for money? Only one reason is because that's be ridiculous. Just too much work. It's really just too much work. I don't think my friend would say the juice is worth the squeeze. It's just not worth it. The only reason I do the Geek Exchange is because the people make it easy for me to conduct it. They follow the rules. They give me the collages of the images. They submit only on the day it's due, mostly. They make it easy for me. They know to go to the people, not to me, to ask them for prices and stuff. And the podcast is the same way. This isn't going to be on a set schedule. By the time you hear this, there should be 3 episodes up. I'm hoping for at least a minimum of 2 a month. I don't want to burn ourselves out with this either. I like to do some more Instagram posts. I haven't posted since the John Wick post, and it's been a couple weeks, and I've been putting all my energy into this podcast. So at least now you know why I've been kind of silent on posting.
It's been a lot of work on you to put this all together, man. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I have a group chat with these guys, and I post the updates almost daily about what I've accomplished and getting their feedback. And honestly, I've done this because you guys have been very, very instrumental in helping me not lose sight of focus of what I was trying to achieve, and to logo feedback. There's a lot of logo feedback, so I think it's all working out, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes. I'm looking forward to seeing who else I meet along the way. What I would like to know is, coming from the audience, what do you want to get out of this podcast? What insights are you hoping for? What type of episodes? Who would you like me to interview? That would be a big step in helping me shape this, because I've said I got 2 years worth of content planned. But that's not set in stone. If there's a big demand for something else, I will definitely explore those options, because part of being able to get people on a podcast is telling them, hey, look, they're asking for you. They want to see you. They want to talk to you. Or they want to know about this. It's a lot for a producer of something, or an artist, anybody, to expose themselves to the public and let their guard down and answer serious, honest questions. I talked to Adam and I was like, look, buddy, I'm going to send you all the questions I have for you ahead of time. He's like, no, it's cool. I like to be in the hot seat. So I am going to get them. I'm going to, and it'll be too late by the time he hears this, it'll already have happened. But yeah, I'm going to say, hey, Adam, a lot of folks are pissed about the Spidey production. So what insights can you provide about why this is taking as long as it's been taking to get all these Spidey figs out? I'm going to ask these serious questions. I've talked to him enough to know what I can get away with. I'm also not going to be like, hey, Adam, this fig doesn't have side printing. Why? Well, that I know why, because he prefers the Lego aesthetic. I'll ping you guys ahead of time saying, what kind of questions would you like me to ask so-and-so on this next podcast? Because I want you to be a part of it and help get some of your insights, some of your questions. Say, hey, so-and-so wants to know. and then they get mad at you and then cancel your order.
That's awesome.
I was like, I got really quiet really quick. No, I'm just joking. Okay, that's how the audience can participate. That's how you guys you can comment on YouTube, comment on Instagram, DM on Instagram. I will put out stories and questions on Instagram stories asking about, what do you want me to ask so and so for an interview? What kind of people you'd like me to bring on board? What kind of subject you'd like me to tackle? Doesn't mean I'm going to get to them all, but it might take time. So this is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. But we'll get to it all in due time with your support. Do you guys have any comments about how you like them to interact or participate? Or
Well, you said the thing about side printing, and that was an interesting point. I would love to hear what other people want to ask, because I think maybe we take some things for granted of, more Lego aesthetic. So that's why they don't do side printing. But I think some of those things I don't know, and a lot of people might also not know. So yeah, I would love to hear what other people want to ask. And I feel like, even though some of them we're going to roll your eyes at, why are pre-orders taking so long, there's definitely a way to approach that. I'd be interested in what the business side of that is, other than just complaining about how long things take. Knowing what all goes into that actually does really interest me.
yeah, there's a lot. And I just said this on Facebook recently. There was a comment about those Spideys as well. I just was on top of my head, and a lot of people don't understand that Rex is in China, Adam is in the United States. Adam has to review test prints and parts and molds, so that's a lot of mailing back and forth. That's a lot of potential for missed and lost packages back and forth. And then, yeah, that's got to be frustrating for him. I mean, we'll find out firsthand, but that's got to be frustrating for him, having to, you know, he wants to maintain his brand and the quality that's associated with it, and to be all excited about getting something like the Mando. Recently, the Mando was done. He was all excited, and then he started looking at it closely. He's like, "Oh wait, there's a helmet issue," and now he has to, probably send that all back with notes. I don't know. Maybe he's keeping FedEx in business, but I know how frustrated I get waiting for a package to arrive if it's through snail mail or it's not DHL. So that's definitely probably one of the bigger. I'm assuming when I say this, that's probably one of the bigger reasons why some of his stuff takes a while. It's just geography. Until we get a Doctor Strange portal set up, it's not going to get any faster.
Oh, please. Then I won't have to lose all my packages in the mail too.
All right, so that's how we're gonna do that. Lastly, I want to know, coming from you, Nick, what do you hope to get out of this podcast? Like for yourself, what do you want to see? What would you like the podcast to achieve, or what would you like to see for yourself?
Number one, I think the coolest thing is being in the room with two legends, you and Marcus, guys that I look up to. Like, come on, man, this is awesome. But like,
Legends now.
yeah, come on, dude, you guys. But this is the thing that I want to listen to, right? There's nothing like this out there, and I've been wanting it for it to exist for so long, and for you to take it and basically bring it into reality and then let me kind of hitch a ride is a blast. So I think, yeah, number one is like, this has to exist, right? Because it's the thing I want to listen to. And I think, for me, it started out as collecting figures and really quickly turned into being part of a community and making friends being the most important part of it. I think if all my friends went away and I was left with all the figures in the world, it's kind of cheesy, but I wouldn't be half as excited about the hobby as I am. So I'm hoping that, this is just another step in growing that community, making people feel a part of it, and kind of having that experience that I had of, belonging to something pretty cool.
My turn.
Marcus, what about you? What are you hoping to get out of this personally? What are you hoping to see the podcast grow into?
Okay. Number one, I just want to say I have a lot of opinions about things, and I need a platform to, vent it all out. And then I think I wanna say thank you to Brad, because I think a lot of the things you do, you you have helped a lot of people, and then with this podcast, you allow people like us to have a platform to speak the matters that we care about. So I think, and number two, I think, like Nick said, this is a community that I like to. I love the people in the community, people like Nick, like you. So I think it's more so about welcoming new guys, new people, and bonding with all guys, all heads like us, and then to help a lot of more people learn about this community and this hobby.
Okay. What do I want to get out of this? I don't really get anything out of this at all, other than a chance to talk with some really cool people about a subject I like. If, like I said, I'm not doing this for money or anything, so if 20 people listen to this, or 200 people, it doesn't really matter to me, because in the end, I still win because I get to talk with some good people about some interesting, things. So, what I would love for the podcast to grow into, I would love it to grow into something that people feel they can go to for true, honest commentary on a hobby they're invested in. I want it to grow into something that people feel it's worth their time. I think for those of us who do listen to podcasts, I'm sure there's been a couple times, even the ones that you enjoy listening to the most, there's been episodes where you're like forward skipping 30 seconds because it's just incessant chatter that you don't care about. I want to avoid falling to that pit. I understand I can't please everyone. I'm not going to try to please everyone, because then it's not me anymore. It's me, it's somebody else through me, and it comes across less genuine. So I do plan on making this and be as, like I said, as genuine as possible. I do want it to be a neutral space where we can have mature conversations about this stuff, but I also don't want it to be given the impression that we're dancing around sensitive subjects that we want to avoid because we don't want drama. That's not at all the case. Behind the scenes, there's always a lot of drama. I joke a lot about stuff. Like I said, I mentioned on Star Wars. I joke about the Star Wars drama. There's drama in the custom world as well. No, nothing's immune to it, but we're just better at hiding it behind the scenes or between certain parties. Heck, there's brand drama too, but we're not. I mean, that's not going to benefit us to do gossip. It doesn't benefit anybody. So we're going to try to generally avoid that. And this way, when you come here and you take time out of your day to spend with us, that means a lot to me, because that means you value what we have to say. You feel like we have some substance to what we're doing. I've got one other quick plug. I'm opening up a print shop. I'll put that in the show notes. I'll have a link tree set up where you can buy prints of about, I have about 60 of my Instagram posts available for print at various sizes, and framed, unframed, matted, whatever, or just a regular old print. So it's affordable. I wanted to find something that was easy to navigate and affordable. How can you support this podcast? You can buy me a coffee. Simple. I literally have a coffee next to me right now. I do have hosting fees. I mean, I'm paying for this out of pocket, obviously, and no one's obligated to support. But if you want to throw me a bone, I'll have a link for that in the show notes as well. It'll be PayPal, so it's all secure and whatnot. And I think we're gonna wrap it up here, man. I think we've hit all we needed to hit for this episode.
Great pod.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, like I said, we're just setting the stage. We're figuring out some of our little technical nuances. My audio shield from my microphone isn't going to be delivered until 10 o'clock tonight. Till right now, I have two pillows, and a sweatshirt making a tent over my microphone. I kid you not.
Sounds great. I've got a blanket thrown over my computer right now. I'm staring into.
Yeah, and you're the video guy. You're supposed to have all this high end stuff. So
yeah, don't look behind the scenes.
Yeah. So yeah. I've got a portable hand clothing rack with blankets behind me to block off the reverb, because I'm not going to soundproof my room. You guys have seen my office on Instagram. I do tours once in a while. I got a lot of posters up. I'm not taking them down to put foam pads up. So, all right. That being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to say one last thing. It would be irresponsible of me to not mention those who have walked so that I can run. I want to give a special shout out to Bricks and Banter podcast. That's run by Billy. What's Billy's Instagram handle? Crap.
BM4.
BM4. Thank you. I knew it was BM something. So Billy was the first minifigure podcast, custom minifigure podcast. So I want to give him total credit. And I didn't think this would be possible if it wasn't for me having to listen to his episodes over the last year or so. And he has had a lot of great interviews. I suggest that you check those out. I'll put a link in the show notes. But yeah, I'd be remiss to not mention that he has also worked very hard to create a very polished product. Definitely give him a shout out, give him a follow on Instagram. And again, I'll link his account in the show notes. I just want to give him special thanks because you wouldn't even think there'd be an audience for this stuff if someone else hadn't taken the first step. I also promise that whatever I do an interview, like say with Adam with Phoenix Customs, I'm not going to repeat the questions he was already asked before. So what I'll do instead is I'll link to like say Billy's episode so that you can go get additional insight because Billy goes into a lot of detail about how Phoenix Customs started, what got him into this to begin with. And I think it's a fascinating story that doesn't need to be retold. You just go listen to the person who pulled that information first.
Man, I'm excited about this. Thanks for making this. Thanks for all you do for the community.
Thank you for the support because if it was just me, I know I did a lot of talking in this podcast. This is because this is again setting the stage. The other co-hosts will be chiming in much more and even sometimes driving the conversation when we get to more concentrated subjects. So I just want to get that clear. People that know me personally know I tend to talk a lot. I tend to ramble and I tend to talk fast. So I apologize. I'm going to listen to this again and I'll see if that's an issue. Again, this is us just setting the stage and getting things started. We appreciate you joining us on this journey and we look forward to doing great things. So we talk again. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And we'll see you next episode when we talk about FOMO and burnout. Thank you. Bye.
Hi. Awesome.
Bye.
Okay, so that's a wrap for episode 1. Thanks to everyone for sticking around. I'd like to also extend my gratitude to Marcus and Nick for helping me kick off this project. And I'm looking forward to when Phil, Carrie, and Zach can join us later. Next episode, we are going to discuss FOMO, or the fear of missing out, and how as a collector do we identify, address, and most importantly, how do we prevent burnout in a hobby that is supposed to be bringing us joy? Until then, take care, and I'll see you soon.
I want you on my rack. I want to make you ring. I want you to unwrap. I want to pull your string. Bring me the next